Okay, let's do linear programming. So I have a question from the past paper. So the question reads, write the four inequalities that defines the unshaded region R, which is here in the diagram below. So unshaded region, this is the area we are looking at. So we have these parts are shaded, then this part is unshaded region. So for us to do this question, we need to have the basic knowledge on the symbols which are used under linear programming. So we know that symbols like this one, then this, and this. So these symbols should be familiar to us for us to understand how to come up with this. So have the less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. We also have less than and greater than. So these symbols are used on different situations depending with the line you are dealing with. So from here, we'll go straight into the question. So whenever you're going to answer this type of a question, the first thing to write is to write the inequality where the line is cutting only on one number. So for example, we have this part. So this line is cutting on the -2. Then we know that this is x-axis. So -2 is on the x-axis. So we're going to say the first one will be, we'll say x, then we'll say -2. Then the next thing, we need to look at the line again. Where is the shaded part? Then is it dotted or is it a solid one? So the line is solid. It will have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. It will have this thing down. Then we know that -1 is greater than -100. So then the negative part, the smaller the negative number it is, the greater that number is. It is. So now, since we have -2, so 0 is greater than -2. So they have shaded on this part. It means all the numbers here are less than 0. So the unshaded region is greater part. So since it is greater part and the line is solid, we are going to say x, now we'll put greater than or equal to. So this is our answer. That's how we do it. The second inequality, we'll also look at another line which is cutting only on one part. So we also have this part which is in the x-axis. So we have 4. We'll put a 4 there. Then you look at where the part is demanding. So the shaded part is where? Now this is the opposite of this one. So it means that when we shade this area, we are shading the greater part. The unshaded region is on the less part. The line is solid, so it will be lesser or equal to. That is the answer. So this is 1 mark as well. Then the other one, we have this line which is cutting in the now y-axis at +2. So we'll say y2. Where is it shaded? Is it solid? Is it dotted? So it is dotted, number 1. It is shaded on the lesser part. So it will be now greater than. That's all. Because we cannot put or equal to because it is a dotted line. So far, these are our 3 inequalities which you have found from the given diagram. To find the last one, when you find the line is cutting both axes, x and y, you need to come up with the coordinates. So we know that it is cutting at +6. Therefore, this line from here up to here, the x-axis or the value for x is 0. From this to this part, it means that in this in this line, y-axis is equal to 0. So we are saying that here x is equal to 0, then here y is equal to 0. So we have positive 6. So we'll say open bracket, so this is the fourth one. Then we have 0, comma 6. Then again, discarding on the in the x-axis, so at 8. So we'll say 8, comma 0, because the entire line is equivalent to y is equal to 0. Then this entire line is equivalent to x is equal to 0. So these are two sets of coordinates we have. Then from here we find the gradient. So we know that gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's assume to say this is 1, this is 2, or vice versa. There's no problem. So if we do like this, we know that this is x, y, we have x, then we have y. So if this is 1, this is 2. So on y, we'll put positive 6. So therefore it will have positive 6. Then from here, minus, so 0 over, then x2, we have 0, minus 8. So 6 to take out 0, it will give us 6. Then here we get negative 8. So we can reduce these numbers for easy calculation. So therefore, we'll say 2 here to give us 3. Then 2 here, it will give us negative 4. So you have no number which you can use to reduce again these numbers except 1. Therefore, once we reach at this stage, we need now to find the equation. So how do you find the equation? So now, the equation which I'm going to look at, we use this formula. Y minus y1 is equal to gradient, then x minus x1. So we have these two sets of coordinates. You can pick one of your choice. So me, I'll go with this one. So I will now replace the numbers. So y minus y1, I'll put 0 here, is equal to gradient is here. So I have 3 over negative 4. Then from here, open bracket. So x minus x1, I'll put now 8. Then from here, I'll keep on to simplify it. So I know that this number is like a scalar. It will multiply whatever elements are inside the bracket. So let me bring down my equation. So y minus 0 is equal to, then if you're multiplying 3 over negative 4, you're going to get 3x over negative 4. Then this is negative, and this negative inside, you're getting a positive. Then you can say 4 into 8, it will give us 2. So 4 into 8, it will give us 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 8, it will give us 2. Then 2 by 3, it will give us now 2 by 3, we are going to get 6. Then from here, we can further and say y is equal to 3x over negative 4, then plus, then you can say 6. We know that when 0 crosses this side, it will become positive. Then 0 plus 6, it will give us 6. So this is the equation which we have found. Now, this is an equation, but we're talking about the inequation. So from here now, you need to come back to the diagram. So the diagram, we look at the diagram again. It is showing us to say this line has been shaded on the greater part. Remember that when the line is slant, this part is always greater. So we have greater and lesser part. So since this line is slant, what I'm going to do now is to see why it is shaded, and at the same time if it is dotted or solid. So the line is solid. So say now in our final answer we can say y is less than or equal to, because they have shaded on the greater part, so less than or equal to, then you write this part. So 3x over -4 then plus 6. So that is our final answer. So these were the answers which we was requested to answer. So this is how we do linear programming. I'm going to do another work from the next paper. So for now we end it here.